If you're thinking about grabbing the Sony HT-A7000 soundbar for that cinematic audio experience at home, hold on tight, because I've got some eye-opening revelations that might just change your mind. This premium 7.1.2 channel soundbar promises immersive Dolby Atmos and DTS sound with a sweet spot so wide it claims to give everyone the best seat in the house. But here's what surprised me. The reality behind those lofty claims isn't as perfect as the price tag makes you believe. Despite boasting 360 spatial sound mapping and advanced surround tech, there are some significant flaws and caveats you need to hear before dropping $1,000 on this setup. So stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll get the full, honest truth about the Sony HT-A7000 and whether it's really worth your hard-earned money. Thinking this soundbar might just be the savior of your home theater? Well, I'm about to tell you why it's not quite that simple. Right off the bat, the Sony HT-A7000 hits you with an impressive spec sheet. 7.1.2 channel surround sound, built-in dual subwoofers, 8K and 4K/120 Hz pass-through for gaming, and compatibility with Alexa and Google Assistant. Sounds like a tech lover's dream, right? But here's the catch. The soundbar excels mostly on paper and in controlled environments. When you start blasting your favorite movies or gaming sessions, some overlooked shortcomings start to emerge, mainly around room calibration, sound consistency, and pricing compared to competitors. Let's dig deeper. The first thing you'll notice once this beast is set up is the wide sweet spot feature. Sony's 360 spatial sound mapping is designed to create a surround effect even without physically placing speakers behind you. Sounds magical, but here's the twist. It heavily depends on your room's acoustics and the optional rear speaker add-ons, which are sold separately and not cheap either. Without those, the surround effect can feel flat or unbalanced, which is a bummer for a product at this price point. Now, if you're an audiophile who loves deep bass, Sony offers customization with optional subwoofers. But the built-in dual subwoofers, while decent, can't quite deliver the earth-shaking lows you might expect from a $999 soundbar. I mean, it's like getting a chocolate cake and realizing there's barely any frosting, sweet, but somehow missing the richness you crave. Plus, if you want those extra subwoofers and rear speakers, prepare to spend even more. It turns into a costly rabbit hole. Another point, and I'm sure gamers will appreciate this, is the 8K and 4K/120 Hz pass-through capability. This ensures compatibility with next-gen consoles and ultra-high-res visuals, delivering a lag-free and crisp gaming experience. But, and it's a big but, the soundbar's audio delay can sometimes be noticeable unless you tweak settings extensively. And let's be honest, not everyone wants to fiddle with equalizers and lip-sync adjustments every time they switch from Netflix binge to Fortnite battle. Here's the kicker. Sony's sound field optimization is meant to calibrate your room automatically when you place the included microphone. Sounds convenient, right? But in practice, the feature isn't as foolproof as advertised. Users report inconsistent results, requiring manual tuning to sort out echoes or muffled audio zones. It almost feels like having a robotic DJ who sometimes spins the wrong track and then blames the Wi-Fi. To their credit, when everything aligns, ideal room shape, proper speaker placement, and tuning, the HT-A7000 can amaze with immersive sound and crisp dialogues. Movies like Blade Runner 2049 and sound-rich games can truly shine. But the problem is, such a setup demands patience, money, and sometimes a crash course in home theater geekery. Before you write this off as a complete no-go, here's a mini promise. I'm about to highlight 3 critical pain points that might save you hours of frustration and hundreds of dollars. So keep watching because your purchase decision hinges on these revelations. First, the wide sweet spot claim sounds fantastic, but it often leads to audio bleed where effects meant for behind you can feel displaced or oddly directional if your room isn't optimized perfectly. Second, the onboarding experience isn't exactly a walk in the park. The setup process, while aided by Sony's apps, can become overwhelming for non-tech-savvy folks. Third, the price tag, nearly $1,000 with extra add-ons, puts this soundbar in a competitive league against other brands that might offer more straightforward or better value surround experiences. Now, who is the Sony HT-A7000 really for? If you're a tech aficionado who loves tinkering with sound settings, enjoys stunning visuals paired with immersive audio, and has a dedicated home theater space with good acoustics, this soundbar might just tick your boxes. It's designed for enthusiasts who want a flagship product that integrates seamlessly with other Sony BRAVIA TVs, and who stream content through Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Chromecast, Spotify Connect, or Apple AirPlay. But if you're after a simple plug-and-play upgrade with instant wow factor and minimal fuss, you'll likely find this soundbar doesn't exactly bridge that gap. So let me share a quick story. My friend Jake invested in the Sony HT-A7000, hoping to replace his aging surround system and simplify his tangled wires. He was all hyped about the 360 reality audio and Dolby Atmos. 2 months later, he confided feeling more like a sound engineer than a movie buff, constantly adjusting speaker angles and fiddling with settings. He joked, "Maybe I should have just bought a rocket ship. At least launching something is easier than sorting sound fields." While the sound quality was undeniably good on some tracks, the ongoing setup demands and extra purchases for that full surround experience left him second-guessing his decision. But don't get me wrong, Sony's dedication to audio innovation shines through here. The HT-A7000 is packed with smart features that integrate neatly with smart assistants like Alexa and Google Assistant, making voice control as easy as asking for a pizza. Plus, you get support for high-res audio and 360 reality audio, which can make music listening feel incredibly vibrant and lifelike when the system is dialed in correctly. It's kind of like going to a concert, but minus the overpriced snacks and crowd noise. Despite the downsides, one thing Sony nails is the build quality. The sleek design fits elegantly below your TV without stealing attention, and the premium materials give it a sturdy, industrial vibe that doesn't scream, "I'm an expensive gadget." Setting it up next to a BRAVIA TV feels like the two were made for each other, with intuitive controls appearing right on your TV screen. No more flipping through endless menus on a tiny remote. Now, let's talk performance when it really matters, the actual listening experience. If you're watching an action flick with explosions and sweeping cinematic scores, the HT-A7000 can produce a rich soundstage with good definition. Dialogues come through clearly, avoiding that dreaded muffled dialogue syndrome so many soundbars suffer from. Playing music through this soundbar, especially high-res audio tracks, is a highlight, offering clarity and depth that casual setups miss. The S-Force Pro front surround does a decent job creating virtualized surround effects, but again, it can't compete fully with a dedicated rear speaker system. So if you're a hardcore audiophile looking for audiophile-grade surround, this might leave you wishing for more. Here's a little joke for you. Why did the soundbar go to therapy? Because it couldn't find its surround self. But seriously, audio quality can sometimes feel like a riddle wrapped in an enigma with the HT-A7000. It depends heavily on your environment and extra purchases. Another joke to lighten the mood. What do you call a soundbar that won't stop bragging? A Sony HT-A7000, because it's big, loud, and a little intimidating. But hey, it's better to have the giant dinosaur making noise than silence in your living room, right? If you're wondering about the streaming capabilities, the HT-A7000 doesn't disappoint. Chromecast, Spotify Connect, Apple AirPlay 2, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi connectivity mean you have every popular streaming service at your fingertips, ideal for those who love switching between platforms on the fly. Plus, the ability to customize your setup with optional rear speakers or extra subwoofers means you can grow your system over time, if your wallet allows it. But here's the question. Should you have to spend upward of $1,500 or more total to get the real immersive experience? That's something only you can decide. In conclusion, the Sony HT-A7000 is a powerhouse in many respects, offering advanced sound technologies, sleek design, and wide compatibility. However, its premium price, the need for extra purchases to unlock full surround sound magic, and the sometimes inconsistent room calibration make it less ideal for casual users or those seeking a straightforward home theater upgrade. Think of it as an elite sports car. It performs spectacularly, but requires regular fine-tuning and the right environment to truly shine. Still interested? If you love to tinker, have a home theater space ready for some serious sound engineering, and want a future-proof soundbar that supports 8K pass-through and smart assistant integration, the Sony HT-A7000 might be the investment for you. But if you want something plug-and-play that instantly wows, it's worth shopping around for alternatives. Before I wrap up, one final joke, because laughter is the best subwoofer. Why don't soundbars ever get tired? Because they always have a good bass line to keep them going. Now that you're equipped with the pros, cons, and some lighthearted fun, you can make the smartest choice for your entertainment setup. Ready to take the plunge? Check out the best price for the Sony HT-A7000 on Amazon by clicking the link in the description below. Grab your deal, and as always, happy listening. May your home theater sound as epic as the movies you watch.